Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the September Borough Board meeting. My name is Tom Lucchini. I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff. To my left is Persephone Tan. She is the new Director of Borough Operations. I'd like to welcome you to the team. And this is her first Borough Board meeting. She was on a virtual meeting with the Borough Service Cabinet and the Borough Consultations last week. So we welcome her, and she'll be reaching out to all of you through in her position, and we look forward to working with her and all of you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Good morning.
So pursuant to Chapter 4, Section 85 of the New York City Charter, a meeting of the Bronx Borough Board will take place on Thursday, September 25th, 2025, starting at 10 a.m. It will be held in person at 851 Grand Concourse, room 405A. We will begin with roll call attendance. Another welcome to Paula Martinez, who is the new chair of Community Board Number 1. We welcome you and look forward to working with you as well. So in terms of attendance, chairperson of Community Board 1.
Present.
Board 2. Board number, Board number 3. Board number 4. Community Board number 5.
Ken Brown, District Manager.
Community Board 6.
Laura, District Manager.
Community Board 7.
Present.
I'm present to District Manager.
I'm sorry, for the record, just names. So
Yes, Carla Cabrera Carrera, District Manager.
Lauris Acosta, Chairperson.
Community Board number 8. Community Board 9. Community Board 10. 11. Community Board 12. Councilmember Majority Leader, Councilmember Diana Ayala, Deputy Speaker. Councilmember Dinowitz. Councilmember Riley.
Andy Torcios representing Councilmember Riley.
Councilmember Malmorado.
Mark Knight, representing Councilman Morale.
Councilmember Sanchez. Councilmember Feliz. Councilmember Stevens.
Tariq Israel, Chief of Staff, Councilmember Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Councilmember Salamanca. Councilmember Majority Leader Farias. Okay, thank you. We have 3 items on the agenda today. First is the Urban Land Institute of New York. Second is the Lower East Side Ecology Center, Community Reuse and Recycling Program. And third is the New York City Civic Engagement Commission from our friend Benjamin from the CEC. The first presenter today will be the Lower East Side Ecology Center. We're just flipping it a bit. So I just asked Christine Datz Romero, the Executive Director, to come up to the front. New York Ecology Center. That's you on that. Lower East Side Ecology. Oh, Sergio. And just for introduction purposes, Sergio.
Sergio Bolivardi, Vice Chair of Community Board number 8, sorry.
Do I need this?
You want to stand over here if you want to put it on the table?
Yeah, I can just stand
Okay.
maybe over here. Well, my name is Christina Datz Romero, and it's actually my first Borough Board meeting too. So thank you for having me, and I'm excited to be here today. And I'm here on behalf of the Lower East Side Ecology Center. To talk about community collection events. We basically, our aim is to reduce the amount of landfill waste that we produce as a city, and want to really bring the service of responsible disposal of some of the items that we throw in the trash to communities on a community level. All right. So I just want to introduce a little bit our organization. Community recycling is really what we are doing, and it's one of the many services we offer. So we have pioneered composting in the city. We started in 1990 on an empty lot, city-owned lot in the Lower East Side, making soil out of food scraps that we collected. And obviously we have a citywide program now, and we also have a curbside program where anybody who lives, at least theoretically, in New York City has access to composting. We have a long way to go, but we're part of that effort. We also do community recycling. We have a long history. We started in the early 2000s with offering electronic waste recycling programs and collections in many different neighborhoods. We also do education, mostly in the Lower East Side, and environmental education. But I also like to say whatever we do, we really want to educate people, of course. And last but not least, we do stewardship of public open space. So we have a partnership with the Department of Parks, and we take care of some parks in the Lower East Side, mostly East River Park, but also Tompkins Square, because East River has undergone some major changes, if to say it lightly. And we also take care of street trees, which is of course very important for all of our communities to battle the heat island effect, and a lot of trees are being planted right now, but to really take care of the investment that we're making into that, we need to also take care of the trees. So we're trying to really inspire people to take care of their street trees. So that's sort of, in broad strokes, the things that our organization does. And now I want to talk a little bit about electronic waste, which is one of the things that we are hoping to collect here in the Bronx. If you look at the data, electronic waste really makes up a growing percentage of our waste stream, which is not a good thing. The average New Yorker household throws away about 7.6 pounds of e-waste, that's what we call it, in 2003, and now it's up to 5.4 pounds in 2017. So we're really generating more and more electronics that we are throwing out. It's just a trend that is not sustainable. And globally, 62 million tons of e-waste was produced. So that's a lot of materials. And we really need to reverse that trend and at least recycle the materials instead of just throwing them in the trash. And to that end, New York State actually passed a law that made it mandatory for New York State residents to responsibly dispose of their electronics in 2015. So it's mandatory. You might remember around that time, we still had these clunky old TVs because we were also just transitioning to flat screens, and then sanitation not picking up the CRT TVs from the curbside and encouraging people to recycle them. Obviously, it's easy to say you need to recycle it. It's hard to actually deliver the programs to make it convenient for people. So that's why this program is part of trying to really do that. Here's just a few more reasons why we really don't want to throw electronics into the trash. Besides from landfill space, of course, is limited. We're also adding a lot of heavy metals to our waste stream, and there's other pollutants that really have no place in the waste stream and should be kept out of landfills or incinerators. And so that is really why we want to divert electronics. So as I mentioned before, we've been running collection events since 2003. And you see us here in action at different events. These are actually Brooklyn elected officials, Alicia, and, well, the congressman. I will not say his name right, so I'll stop here. But what I wanted to show you is how we host events. So we either can set up an event in a parking lot, or we also do a lot of events on curbside. So, we are very flexible in terms of how to set up events. We take care of all the permits, but what we're really looking for is partners in the community to really organize a successful event. Because what's really a successful event is if a house of worship, or maybe it's a school, or it's a civic organization, community boards that really get behind an event and get the word out, because we know how to run an event and how to collect an event and how to do outreach once we are in your community, but really getting people to participate and getting the word out, that's what we're really looking for, a partnership, and looking to community boards to hopefully assist us. And then here is sort of a list of all the materials we collect. It's a long list, and sometimes people are really wondering what e-waste is. People bring us, their microwave to an event and say, well, it plugs in, it's e-waste, right? But unfortunately, it's not that straightforward. We cannot take anything that plugs into a outlet, but what we do take in the under e-waste is anything that connects to a computer or to a TV. So basically sort of technology. We also take handheld devices, so iPhones, tablets, and we love boom boxes. So any AV material we would also collect, and any cords and stuff like that. All of that has really very much also valuable materials in there, and that's what we are charged to collect. And then what we don't accept is microwaves. This is probably the biggest thing that people bring to us, where we say, sorry, but you schlepped it here, but we can't take it. Also ACs, we always try to explain to people that sanitation has a program. You call 311, you make an appointment, and then your AC is actually removed from the curb by sanitation once the freon gas is removed the day before your regular recycling day. And we also don't take batteries or light bulbs. So these are sort of the culprits of everything that people love to bring to e-waste events that we unfortunately cannot take. And now we're coming to why I'm here today. In 2003, the New York City Council passed a law requiring at least one community recycling event in each community district per year. So for the Bronx, that would mean 14 events between October 1st and of 2025, that's the year we're in, to September 30th of 2026. So we have a year to fulfill that mandate here in the Bronx and also in all the other districts. And we figured we'll start our outreach. So not only are we going to collect e-waste at our events, but we also, through a partnership with sanitation. So sanitation gave us basically a contract to do that work. We also offer, we can also offer more materials now. And what we're really trying to address is, well, electronics, of course, but also textiles, which a lot of people throw clothing in the trash because it might not be convenient to drop them off with Salvation Army or with a Goodwill store. So we're trying to also offer collection events for textiles, and we're also piloting to do paint collection because, well, there are slides coming. So another thing that people have a hard time to dispose of if they want to do the right thing and not throw it in the trash. So let's talk about textiles a little bit. Again, there is a lot of waste out there, fast fashion, we all buy something and then it's like not that well made, and we are like, yeah, we're over it. Next year something else is fashionable and we want to go with the newest trend. So that generates a lot of materials that need to go someplace, and actually New Yorkers throw away 92 pounds of textiles every year. So that's, if you add it up by the 8.4 million that live here, that's a lot of material that it's really, it's also sort of really a shame because, if you have an old coat that you don't want to wear anymore, there is somebody out there who needs a coat, right? So it's also really a missed opportunity to help our communities. So textile recycling is really important and necessary, and we collect all kinds of textiles from coats, clothing, to hats, bags, belts, T-shirts, sweaters, you name it, you can bring it to us, even fabric scraps. They just have to be clean and dry, but they don't have to necessarily be usable. Textiles that you can't reuse, they get shredded and then they are used to create insulation. And then moving on to the last item that we're also adding to our e-waste collection program is paint. Again, in New York State, there's a law that was passed in 2019 that stipulates collection or creates a collection program or a mechanism for it. So if you and me go to a hardware store today and buy a gallon of paint, there's actually a small fee that gets charged to us, the consumers. And with this fee is supposed to help create collection events. And so we are partnering with Paint Care, which is the nonprofit that was created to offer that service here in New York City. And we have piloted a few collection events in Queens with Senator Adabo at Forest Park, because there is a huge parking lot there. And for paint events, it's a little bit more complicated. We need really a large parking lot to stage something like that, but we would also love to bring that service to the Bronx. Probably not to every community district, because that would be a little challenging, but got to start someplace, right? And then last but not least, I don't know how many repair community-based organizations are in the Bronx, but we recently were at El Barrio at the art space there, and they invited people to bring their broken household items, and then there were people there that actually know how to fix things, and they went to work. This gentleman was trying to fix that refrigerator for someone. So that's another aspect of the program that we would also like to emphasize, is like recycling is great, but if we can reuse or fix something, that's even better. And we're also really looking for organizations to partner with to bring that more to the fore and into consciousness of people. So that is basically sort of a broad overview of our program. Oops. And then I just want to really thank you for listening to me rattling on about waste, but it's my passion. And if you're interested in getting in touch with us, we have a website. It's lesecologycenter.org, and you can send an email to info there with a subject line of a request an e-waste event, and then we will respond to that and work with you. And I don't know whether this is also allows for any questions. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop talking.
Thank you very much, Christine, for that presentation. And I know that this is something that many of the boards probably would look to participate in. Are there any questions from any members? Anthony?
A question, when you
Anthony,
talk,
take the microphone.
thank you for your presentation. When you talked about providing assistance to the community boards, the districts, what exactly is was that? What does that mean?
So
Besides, I heard you say you do the permits, but anything else expansive from your presentation?
yes, so we would work with community boards to set up an event, identify a location. Then we would get either Parks Department permits or permits from the mayor's office. And then on the day off, we would come out and hold the event.
So you
And
want them to help with publicity? and
Publicity,
get the
yes.
information out to your
yeah.
organization.
And then also, like your elected officials, you know them probably a lot better than we would, and give us pointers who to reach out to really get the word out.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah.
No, thank you very much for the presentation. I think the Department of Sanitation used to have recycling conferences, and I think I met you and found out about Lower East Side maybe a decade ago. So I really appreciate the work that you do. A couple of questions. I'm thinking in my community, there could be a significant demand for the electric waste sorry, it was a long night. Recycling.
Yeah.
My concern is the transportation to a site. If we had like mini feeder sites in neighborhoods that could then be fed into a larger central site, could you assist with transportation? And then the second question is, for the textile recycling, does any of the material that you collect go to materials for the arts? What's your relationship with them?
No, the textiles actually are handled by a nonprofit called Helpsy. They just recently got a contract with the Department of Sanitation. So they also put up in larger buildings, they put up bins that people can use to put their unwanted clothing in. And so we're working with Helpsy, not with Material for the Arts, but we certainly know that organization, and it's a great organization. And in terms of feeder events, we are definitely open to exploring things. I think one of the problems is that, as I showed a slide of like people bringing materials that we really cannot collect, or if somebody brings like a microwave, what we actually have a chance to do is to say, hey, look, you can actually put that out curbside. Because a lot of people don't know that household appliances, your toaster oven, your microwave, your coffee machine, all of that can go with your metal, glass, and plastic recycling. So we don't want to take materials that people don't have to hold on to, and we really want to educate them how to really recycle that a lot faster than waiting until an event comes around into their community. So that would be a drawback, but happy to explore ideas.
No, we'll definitely be in touch.
Thank you.
Could there be a combination of safely disposing the events and also offering folks if they would like to repair some appliances?
I mean, what we do is, or what we did in this one event is we really had people there that could repair something. I think what we cannot do is for people to come to an event and say, oh, I will fix this, because we don't know of the technical skills of a person. And then we also running into problems. If people drop off a laptop, we can't give that to anybody, because sensitive personal information is on these devices. So there's also a certain amount of limitations of what we would really be comfortable giving to people if they say, oh, I can fix that.
Carla?
So we've actually host an e-waste event annually. I think next year is going to be our third one. My question is, do you work with 3x3? Because I know that's usually the partner that we do our work with through sanitation. So I'm wondering is this effort in addition to that, or is it just in collaboration with?
No, it is actually 3x3 had a contract for 1 year, and then sanitation did a new round of requests for proposals, and we won the contract now. So we basically replacing 3x3.
Any other?
How much time do you need in order to plan an event? So from thought process of saying we want to do it to information to the end, how much time do you need?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So it ideally 3 months. We can do it in 2 months, but really until you figure out the details about back and forth about the sort of location. And then we want to, of course, have enough time to do outreach. So 2 months at a minimum. And we do events pretty much year round. Not so much in the dead of winter. We do some in January because a lot of people get new technology for the holidays and they're always looking, or, it starts with Black Friday, right? The big deals there. And so people always looking to dispose of electronics in January. We do events. And then we take a little break February and start sort of late March and then go through the year really.
Everyone is signing up for January.
All right. Drop us a line.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Christine, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming up, and you will be getting a lot of business from us.
Great.
I will share your presentation with the other boards that are not here, and they hopefully will be able to reach out to you as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, and we're looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. You see, the next would be the presentation by the Urban Land Institute of New York. Presentation is by the Chair of the Technical Assistance Steering Committee, Jason Avilatis.
All right. Thank you all for having us here this morning. I'm Jason Avaliotis, co-chair of the Technical Assistance Program Steering Committee. I'm joined by Chris Carrico from the Urban Land Institute, and we're going to talk about technical assistance panels and how they may help your community. Technical assistance panels, our program generally brings together the finest expertise in the real estate field to bear on land use planning and development projects, programs, and help offer policy recommendations with unbiased technical assistance for your challenging problems in your community. Just a little bit about ULI, the Urban Land Institute. We endeavor to shape the future of the built environment for transformative impact on communities worldwide. We have chapters in every country, and we have many members right here in New York. Our mission commitments are connect, inspire, and lead through educational initiatives, content sharing, and knowledge sharing, and of course, our community engagement, which I'm here to talk to you about today. ULI in general, we have over 45,000 members worldwide and many, many chapters. We were founded in 1936. We have 52 district councils in North America. Of our 45,000 plus membership, 2,900 of them are real estate and design professionals right here in New York City. And ULI New York serves all of New York State, not just New York City. So we're engaged in initiatives all over the state. Brief cross-section of our membership here in New York. You can see that we have several professionals, some of which are licensed architects and designers, real estate development professionals, professionals in private development, land use attorneys, brokerage professionals, people in academia, and people in finance and investment banking. So we have quite a diverse cross-section within our membership right here in New York. So what is a technical assistance panel? We are an assistant to you to provide direct assistance to communities by leveraging the expertise of our subject matter experts, all of the professionals within our Urban Land Institute membership, to tackle real estate and development issues right here in the Bronx or in other communities in New York City. Our steering committee is comprised of several members, about 15 members this year, and we are the core team that puts together the subject matter experts for your panels and works with you to shape the mission and the stated goals of the technical assistance panel. Myself and Katie Chen are the co-chairs. So what is a TAP? It is a 2-day workshop, or you might think of it as a visioning and feasibility analysis session, during which a panel of senior level experts, usually about 5 to 12 experts, offer recommendations for a specific issue that you would identify, or a partner or organization would identify. There's a presentation during the panel. There is a report after the panel comes out, and usually we have some type of a launch event where there's a public release of the report. And then this becomes a legacy document for the community, for you as the sponsor, to help solve any land use challenge you may have. We offer our insights from our membership and all of our technical assistance experts. So potential TAP topics. We're providing, again, honest, unbiased recommendations that can help you refresh or revitalize your thinking about a project, catalyze change in your community, or gain traction for an idea or a project that you may have. We help address a broad range of topics. Our mission priority topics of attainable and affordable housing and decarbonization, evaluating specific development and land use proposals that may be local to the Bronx, analyzing reuse of existing properties, identifying key public, private, economic, and land use issues, exploring commercial corridor revitalization, and providing market-based analysis of a local plan or development strategy. And then we make recommendations to optimize public investments, phasing redevelopment, or implementing local plans and policies. TAPs are ideal for nonprofit organizations or public sector agencies. We work a lot with the EDC, Department of City Planning as well. Our previous public sector sponsors include many of the following, including the DOT, the Department of City Planning, New York City Housing Authority, and municipalities such as the Village of Sleepy Hollow, of course, the EDC, and Bronx Community Board 4 that we finished up a TAP with last year. Our previous nonprofit sectors include Montefiore Hospital, Fifth Avenue Committee, the Alliance for Renewal at St. John's Getty Square, and the Waterfront Alliance that we're working with again to talk about waterfront edge design guidelines coming up next year. We provide, as part of the technical assistance program, the time and expertise of senior level professionals, our ULI members, who volunteer for this 2-day workshop, which typically would amount to about $100,000 in services in the open market. So we're providing this to you at a deeply discounted fee of $25,000 for a sponsorship from the client. We also have opportunities for subsidies, which we can talk about depending on specific TAPs, but there are many funding opportunities out there to take on feasibility analysis and visioning of these technical and many issues that you might have. We offer a presentation of recommendations by the expert panel delivered to the sponsor, which would be all of you, and a complete report detailing the panel's analysis, conclusions, strategic recommendations, and very importantly, the next steps for solving the issue or taking on whatever issue it is you're going to be considering. We're doing this next month in October. We recently finished up a TAP with the mayor's office to look at the implementation of local law 97 guidelines and energy efficiency guidelines in co-ops, conversion to electric systems from fossil fuel. And there's going to be some recommendations that we're going to be meeting about directly after that public launch event with some smaller cohorts of our co-ops as part of that TAP. So there is direct action that results from these TAPs. Again, fee of $25,000 is typically the rate for a TAP, and we would be asking you guys or any potential sponsor for a list of key stakeholders that would be interviewed for the TAP to establish goals and frame the initiative. So a TAP agenda typically includes 2 days. There's an in-depth briefing on day 1, which is a welcome to the panel by the client, a study and site tour of the project site, and by the afternoon we do stakeholder interviews with 20 to 30 key stakeholders within the project to frame the initiative or frame the goals of the project. And then typically there's a sponsored dinner with the panelists, which is more of a social casual engagement. And then day 2, we have deliberation and working. Panel works together around a large table similar like this to formulate recommendations, provide sketches, analysis, feasibility studies for whatever urban design problem we're tackling. And it will culminate with the panel's oral presentation of its findings to the sponsor client, which can opt to hold the presentation publicly if you wish to release preliminary findings from the TAP. A complete report follows within about 2 to 3 months. This is a written report. It is released with detailed recommendations for moving forward. And a couple of TAPs that we have worked on, one with Community Board 4. This was focusing on the potential siting of a soccer stadium in the South Bronx. The experts we provided for the TAP provided recommendations on how to best approach CB4 could take to ensure that a new development would provide tangible benefits to the local residents of the community and remain connected and engaged with the neighborhood. And then the focus of the recommendations you can see off here on the right had to be more than just a stadium, must be a multi-purpose asset for serving the wider community, provide connectivity, reduce vehicular congestion, enhance multimodal transportation, and connect the east side rail lines to Jerome Avenue corridor and beyond. And then the third primary area, planning for a community-focused neighborhood, addressing issues such as abundance of parking lots, garages, businesses closed outside of game days. These are some of the subject matter experts we had on our other TAP for Montefiore, of course, nonprofit hospital. The ULI convened an expert panel on behalf of Montefiore to recommend neighborhood-focused strategies to boost connectivity, wellness, and jobs in and around the campus, and provide a connection to the Metro North Station for its opening in 2027. So this would be in preparation for the eminent city-led Bronx Metro North rezoning that is upcoming. And key recommendations included strategies in the report aimed to help transform the area into a regional wellness, healthcare, and jobs destination, build Montefiore's campus to identify branding, wayfinding, and cohesive design with the transit-oriented development, and leverage new development to connect the campus and existing neighborhoods to the new train station, and increase campus activation, including a plaza at the entrance, which would open to the new station. And you can see here the cross-section of panelists that we had on this technical assistance project spanned between council and land use, architecture, landscape design, urban design, and so on and so forth. So this is just a general overview of the four-part process of a TAP. I won't dwell on this too much other than to say there is an application process where the sponsor would put together the goals and initiatives. Our committee with ULI would work with the sponsor, with you guys, to frame them and make sure that we could turn that into a briefing book for the panelists. And then we would set the agenda for the panel, the two-day engagement, and then work towards the final report after the two-day engagement panel was complete. This typically takes between 3 and 4 months, depending upon how well-defined the goals are from the start. And we have some criteria for developing and evaluating potential TAPs. In the initial application from the sponsor client, we would ask, is the scope of work in line with ULI's mission and priorities? Is the scope of work feasible for a TAP, which is, of course, a short-term and very intense engagement? And is there a reasonable expectation that the TAP recommendations will lead to action and form a legacy document for you? Follow-up conversations include the client capacity. The sponsor client must have the capacity to work with ULI on developing the scope of the TAP, the briefing materials, which of course we will work extensively with your team on, inviting stakeholders for interviews with the panelists, and attending prep meetings. And is the sponsor able to pay the initial fee of the $25,000? And of course, we always attempt to help find some subsidy for that whenever possible. Thank you. We can take some questions now.
Are there any questions? Ken?
Good morning. No, thank you. It's very enticing. Two questions. One, does the sponsor have to be a specific entity, or could we get a collaborative together to make this initiative? That's one. Another one is, do you do any work translating or advocating on behalf of the UN's Community Development, Sustainable Development Goals?
So the first one, I will say yes, there are collaborative sponsorships that always helps to do with a cost sharing of the sponsorship fee. So that's definitely open. Chris, I'm going to let you answer the second one on behalf of ULI in general.
In what way? Yeah, what do you mean by that?
You know, the UN has, I haven't looked at this in a long time, about 7, I think, community sustainment goals, and they range primarily in urban development. How can the growth of cities be conducted in such a way that it's sustainable over generations? This has been an initiative of the UN for probably, I don't know, a decade or two. And I was just wondering, because of your position, expertise, and reach, if you have some capacity to kind of translate that at the local level so that our community can feel integrated and a part of this global initiative that's going on?
We haven't had a project that is specifically looking at the UN goals, but it's really based on what we're asked to do. So if a community wanted assistance with something like that, then we could work out a scope.
I certainly don't envision this as being something that the community itself would ask for, but I was just wondering, as an institutional mandate, is that something that you have taken up independent of these panels?
No, not really.
Work on it.
Are there any other questions? Anthony?
So I take it that this funding for initiative like this has to come out of the community board's annual budget, correct? Right? Has there been the example?
Ken said, or some combination of assistance from, whether it's discretionary dollars from electeds,
Right.
From you, or from a CBO that you may partner with on,
To learn more about it.
Right.
But for us to own it, so that it is solely information that could be useful for the community board, and a land use initiative, the community board should
Correct.
own it, right? And there's this type of, my understanding, this type of technical assistance of some form of it comes also out of the public engagement commission from the mayors, or that's not something that comes to them.
Ben is here.
Ben is here, so maybe we'll talk about that more. Do you allow, or can you also provide for us, the district managers, any evaluation material that was shared from Community Board 4, so that we understand how that experience went out? Because sometimes you may have to take the time to almost plain language a lot of the work, so that our members can, lay members can help understand the work ahead, like something that's very, comprehensive, like the City of Yes that we all went through. So I would love to learn about how they evaluate their experiences with something like this since your process is only 2 days, which gives, a short turnaround and make it, so it must be very intense to get an outcome and also get the report. So I would love to learn more about what those experiences were. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And one of the things that, if you noticed, was that Paul Phillips was the DM at the time.
Sure.
Obviously, you know where he is, so I'm sure that he'd be more than happy to share his experience with you or anybody at the table as well.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, Paul, just quickly on that, Paul invited us to come.
Like Paul
He
contacted
made
us.
the connection, and he actually joined the committee with Jason, so he's very involved in this program to this day.
Good to know.
It's been
Thank
helpful
you.
for him.
Are there any other questions? How?
Have you had any experience where a community board, and this goes back to, how the community boards may want to partner with other organizations or entities to afford your services. Have you had any experiences where the individuals or organizations proposing a particular project, let's say the soccer field, are the ones who contract your services to kind of like inform the community board about the pros or cons of their projects? Or have you, or in your experience or recommendation, just to make it more transparent for the community boards, do you always advise the community board to be the one assuming the cost of the service?
So I don't think we ever advocate for one source for paying the sponsorship fee. I think we're definitely, of course, open to partnerships, and we're probably casting a wider net this year into different types of partners, both inside the community on the public side and the private side. So I think that there is a lot of opportunity for the community board to be involved, but not necessarily have to shoulder the entire cost of the tap. And of course, it would be extremely beneficial directly for the community board, but there are strategic partners that we can help you bring in, or you guys can identify, that would be beneficial to have on the tap. Chris, do you want to add anything?
Any other questions? Ken?
Sorry, it was a late night last night. Do you know if contributions to the cost of sponsorship, if that would be eligible for CRA credits for banks?
Interesting question. Chris, do you know that answer?
I don't know
I
the
don't.
answer, but it's worth exploring.
Oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, thank you both very much for being here today. Again, we will share this with the other members of the Borough Board as well.
Great. Thank you all.
Thank you. Our third presentation is from the New York City Civic Engagement Commission. Benjamin Solitaire, who we all know, has been here a number of times and will be making the final presentation for this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again and see some familiar faces and some new ones. So it's great to be here. I love coming up to the Bronx. It's a long trip from Brooklyn, as you know. It's a bit of a trip. But yeah, Benjamin Solitaire, Senior Advisor with the Civic Engagement Commission. I send out a lot of emails to you guys with things that we're doing and services we have. But I just wanted to take a second to sort of put a little meat on those bones. So I have a little idea about what we're doing and what those emails are a little more about. For those of you who don't know, we were created in 2018 by a ballot initiative. So thank you for voting for us. If you did, thank you for the job. I appreciate it. First commission created by a popular vote. So that's really cool. We have the mission of restoring civic trust and strengthening democracy through participation by residents. These are the main areas I'll cover today. Our voter language assistance program, People's Money, our work with you guys, and then community partnerships and education that we do. So right now we have about 25 people on staff. I was number 11 3 years ago, so that's a pretty quick jump, plus some consultants. So what is civic engagement? We consider it as people power. It's you guys, it's the people that are on your board and the residents in your districts. It consists of all the ways that people use their power to seek justice for their community, because they have a love for their community. I have never felt people that love their community more than people in the Bronx. There's some dedicated folks up here. So again, the right, the voter language assistance, everybody has the right to vote in their own language. You may bring an interpreter into the voting booth with you. So our program provides translation interpretation services in languages not provided by the BOE. So these are all our languages that we cover, and we can't cover every poll site in the boroughs, but these are the ones. Oh, sorry, I don't know why that format I got off. That we had in the Bronx. We do early voting and day of voting. So if we use an algorithm that helps decide where the greatest needs are in which languages. So you may not see every need. You may think that there's an obvious language missing. But we could always go into details about that if you want. But that's the citywide map, and I'm sorry, it doesn't quite cover all of the Bronx, but these are the primary ones that we're doing in the Bronx. This, I think, is what we're going to be doing in November. So we'll send this out to all the boards so you can let your folks know. I realized today that we should send it to all the boards because some of the voters may be served by a site not in your board. So we will send this whether or not you have a site directly in your district. We do other things about voter language. We do some info sessions. We do language seminars in different languages around the city. We have a digital voting toolkit, ethnic media. We work with the Office of Ethnic Media a lot to get the word out. Trying to let people know that they can vote in their language. Of course, the People's Money, which is our biggest funded project. You're pretty familiar with that, I think. Most of you might be, but we do run, it's citywide. So this is not the city council process. It is not the Civics for All in Schools process or the Office of Neighborhood Safety, which also has its own process. So we are citywide. Anybody in the city can participate. We run year-round. Basically, it is year-round, but we start with idea generations. We get ideas from everybody in the city on how to spend part of the city budget. We have $4 million this year. Those sessions, which I'll talk about also, will be starting October 15th. So you'll be getting information about that and maybe help work with us on that. We recruit residents from around the city in each borough to serve on borough assembly boards to help decide out of all those ideas, all the eligible ideas. We do get ones we can't do, but out of all the eligible ideas, which ones end up on a ballot. So that's a randomly selected, demographically representative group of folks that spend about 20 hours deliberating over the ideas to put them on the ballot. We open it up to a citywide vote. And then once the projects that get funded, we bring in, we put out an RFI for CBOs to implement those projects. So the ones that were implemented from last year in the Bronx, sorry, this is a little small, it looks a little bigger on my screen, but Tom will share this, I believe. So these are the ones that they're just wrapping up. They were voted on last year in 2024 and have been implemented throughout the course of the last few months. Slashing Bronx hunger, boosting knowledge about healthy eating, the Institute for Family Health, job training for young adults and adults in trade work, creative mental health programs for families with children, college prep and career readiness for youth, and youth activity enrichment programs with the arts. So those are the organizations, brief descriptions of the projects that are sort of wrapping up around now. We do have what's in your borough videos. This is just some of them. Every project has a video, so you can go on our YouTube channel, and these are like 3 to 4 minute testimonials about all those projects from the people who are directly impacted for them or by them. So the Bronx, we have the college one there, but we have all the projects. So this year, which wrapped up in June, we always do, while we hire many organizations around the city to do voting for us, we attend one event in each borough. This is our Bronx Week event. We've been there for 3 years now. That's Mama Sunny, one of our mascots. Then the Sunny Puppets, which are a great thing. They were in the parade. And then, of course, we collected around 500 votes that day. It was a beautiful day. Anybody here? I'm sure you guys were at Bronx Week. Beautiful event. Total votes, 131,000. Bronx came in a respectable third in the vote, no total, but almost 30,000 votes collected here. We do have a really high digital paper collection about, which is great. We're really trying to push the digital voting too, because so many more people can do that. You can do it on your phone, but people really do gravitate towards the paper sites. So, and that won't come up until the spring, but. These are the projects that won just a few months ago. We are in the moment, probably today and tomorrow, we'll be awarding these to the CBOs that will be implementing them. But youth-led performing arts program, healthy food and literary nights, STEAM enrichment for youth, Bronx youth and teens, of course, support people with housing advocacy groups, and support for parents and guardians of amazing special kids. So they'll be. So we're awarding those to the CBOs now. They'll start rolling out, and hopefully you'll start hearing more about those. So this is just for the people's money process, but you can see we do have a wide cross-section of people. We had 73% people responded to our survey out of those 131 that people that voted. So we do represent a lot of New Yorkers. Obviously a Black African American, a lot Asian, white, but we do collect all this data. Always happens, it's happened every year. Women far outweigh the number of men that participate. So guys, come on and vote. Come and give us this is just voting, but it happens in all the processes we do. Pretty even widespread of voting ages, which is great. But we do have 17% were 11 to 17, because if you didn't remember, anybody can vote 11 years and up in the process. But of course, we have about 12% that were 65 and above. So, it begins October 15th. I guess we're doing an event right here in Bronx. All right. Breaking news. But yeah, that'd be great. We like to do them in Borough Halls. But October 15th and November 19th, I will be sending out information about that. If any board wants to host an idea generation session, I know a couple have, we're happy to send a facilitator and happy to work with you to do that. It's pretty easy setup. We only want 25 to 30 or so people. We can do more, but that requires just more staff. Just AV and promotion to help get the word out. We'll provide a facilitator and all our materials. So, but it has to be between those dates. The TREE Initiative, that is the Task Force for Racial Inclusion and Equity, which was created during the COVID pandemic. I'm sure you remember that. For hardest hit neighborhoods that were hardest hit by COVID, but have other economic indicators, disenfranchisement. It's not part of our charter mandate. All the other ones are in the charter. We have to do those. We're happy to do those. That this is an initiative that was assigned to us. We'll go over, this is just some of the things we do. We do capacity building for them. We've had them form coalitions in their neighborhood, help promote social cohesion. Sorry about that again. These are the Bronx neighborhoods. We don't create these groupings, but that is what the TREE Initiative has done, and we work with those. And most of the projects, all the projects get implemented in these, primarily in these neighborhoods, though they're not exclusive. With community boards, what I'm hoping to do this year is that we're going to work with all the borough's president's offices. We've talked with Michael before, Kiara, about what they're looking for. We're going to offer 2 customized workshops. You might have, if you were on top of email yesterday, I did send one out asking any board that wants to do have their own custom parliamentary procedure. We're offering 3 topics. Just fill out, there's a form. You can fill it out and give us a date and the topic you want. And as long as the workshop, the trainer is available, we'll work that out. We asked for a first and second date, but that would be for your board, your executive board, or the whole board on parliamentary procedure. We offered a de-escalation training last year for the borough. A couple of you went to that, right? Ken, were you there, Carla?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you weren't there, but it was a really great workshop, and Kara wanted us to offer that again. So we'll be reaching out with details about that. It's in person for about 30 people. The parliamentary procedure can be online or in person. We continue to work with the Future of Community Boards working group as they, as we can partner with them to do what their goals are too. So we will be rolling out for virtual citywide presentations, language access, social media training, and language access, social media, and one other one, which escapes me right now. I'll come up with it before I leave. And we're trying to work with DCAS to roll out the New York City Learns to all your board members. They keep canceling the meeting. So hopefully they will do that soon.
Can you just, I'm sorry, could you just explain what that would allow the board members to do?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of requests since I started this 3 years ago for basically our EEO trainings to be available to all board members. The discrimination, sexual harassment, LGBTQ, those things. So they've always been on the wrong side of a firewall. Board members, staff, as you know, can access them, but board members can't. NYC Learns, New York City Learns, has removed that. So there is a process to register, and they need to get, it's a little complicated, they need to get a roster of all the boards, but then they can set up accounts, the board members can register, and then take those trainings. We can't, nobody here particularly force them to take it, but at least they will have that option and can be promoted so that just those required ones, we might offer more down the line, but right now we just wanted to keep it sort of simple. So we have reached out to all the borough president's offices, and I guess that DCAS has canceled it twice, but hopefully they'll do it soon. That's it. That's some of the stuff we do. I know a lot of you help us out. I appreciate that. Any questions?
Before we go to questions, just on the New York City Learn, as you said, this has been something that has been ongoing for a number of years. If you remember, for the DMs that have been around a bit, we actually had to do this per board member. We had to supply them with an individual ID number. It was a very cumbersome process, and things got lost in the mix. So we've been moving with DCAS and with Ben's organization to allow board members to take these courses. And technically, since they are board members, they are required to take certain courses. EEO being one of them, and the sexual harassment training is the other. So as soon as that is up and running, we'll work with all of you to be sure that your board members get that access and we can get that rolling. It's very important to the borough president. In fact, it started in the previous administration. We've all been working with DCAS to try to get this wall, this firewall that you're saying, eliminated. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be great for everybody. Disability access was the third one that we'll be rolling out. So we're going to do social media, language access, and disability access trainings for any board member. The other two are more custom.
Are there any questions for Ben?
Oh, come on.
Ken? Anthony?
Oh, yeah. That's all right. You all know how to reach me, I hope
Anthony,
so.
he had a board meeting last night.
They did.
He had a board meeting, yes. Are there any questions? Again, we will forward this presentation to all of you, and then obviously you know Ben and can follow up with any particular questions. We will follow up with you on the idea generation. I know the time frame there is just a little tight because we have early
blackout.
voting, blackout one, but early voting in the rotunda as well. So
Okay.
we'll see.
We could do it at the end of, we go to November 19th. So
Okay.
open up.
We'll work with you on that.
Great.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Ben. I
much.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
So before we move on, can you just, the young lady that just identify yourself for the record? Yes, because I saw you came in late.
Chief of Staff for Councilmember Oswald Police.
Thank you. Are there any announcements from any board, council member? If not, I just have three quick announcements from the Borough President's office. Tonight in the Rotunda is the Bronx Renaissance Fashion Show, as we say. And that will be held this afternoon beginning at 5. Doors are open at 4. I know that we have over 300 people that have already RSVP'd for it. So it's our second event, second year of this event, and it's a great event. So if you are available, please feel free to attend. On October the 1st is the job fair for all abilities. It's specifically designed for people with disabilities. However, everybody can attend. There'll be a training session beforehand for the disabled community that will be held in the Rotunda. And that is October the 1st, beginning at 10 a.m. And there is a QR code for that as well. And then finally, Sunday, October the 5th is Tour de Bronx. We are up over 3,000 registrants. Please feel free to share this information again, which I will forward to you, to all of your constituents through your social media. We are beginning the ride here at 161st Street in the Grand Concourse. There is a 10, a 25, and a 40-mile ride. The 10-mile goes from here directly to the Botanical Garden, and the 25 has rest stops at the Bronx YMCA in Soundview, Pelham Bay Park, and then the New York Botanical Garden being the end. The 40-mile route starts here at the courthouse. It goes to the Bronx YMCA. It goes to Orchard Beach. It goes to Woodlawn Cemetery and down to the Botanical Garden. I know Carla actually was there last year, if I remember correctly. Every year. So if you are available and are a bike rider, please feel free to join us and also share this information with your members and your constituents. Mr. Guzman is here from Community Board 5. I just want to acknowledge you as well. Thank you for being here. Are there any other questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Save the date of Interfaith Breakfast on October the 15th. That's being held at Bronx Community College. That's being sponsored by the folks on the bottom of the slide. RSVP to Larcinia Walton, who is our Director of Constituent Services, but also works with our interfaith community. So L. Walton at bronxbp.nyc.gov. Again, we will share all of this with you. That's it. Anything else? If not, our next meeting of the Borough Board will be Monday, October the 20th. Right here in this room, we will send you the agenda as soon as it's completed. And if that's it, thank you all very much for being here. Have a good day.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.